Hello everybody guys, today I'm going to react to memes about USA versus Germany. As a German, yeah, I'm from Germany, I'm from a small town called Alpirsbach im Hochschwarzwald. I'm sure you all heard of it. Police in America. And that's something I noticed, yes, police in America, they're decked out. Dude, in Germany you never see people with guns. I mean, we don't have guns, and the last time we did, it didn't go so well. Yeah, you know. In America, they look like they're ready to invade. They look fucking ready. And in Germany, police officers, they don't look threatening. And I think it's because historically our police, like the Gestapo, was so threatening that now they're kind of like, you know, they're trying not to look too sharp, you know, because Germany has Hugo Boss and Germany has all the design, but they chose to make the police officers wear the least intimidating colors. They look like they just went to Burning Man, you know, they just have the most hippie fucking outfits. But it's true, police officers, sure, we respect them in Germany, but dude, in America, even security people at a shopping mall with full-on bazookas. Like, what the fuck? That is crazy. We don't have that at all in Germany. Obviously, in America, people have guns, therefore you need bigger guns to protect the people. I totally understand where it comes from, but this is just something funny as a German actually to look at this and be like, yo, that is a crazy observation because I never looked at a police officer and was scared of them in Germany. Okay, then this one is also funny. Public drinking, very true. Dude, I was shocked to find out that in America, you cannot drink in public. That is something that we do all the time in Germany. Because in Germany, you can drink beer when you're 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I remember we go to the gas station and just legally buy beer. It was Schöfferhofer grapefruit flavored beer, or like Alpirsbacher Klosterbräu, or we had the Paulaner Hefeweizen. We just had some beers and we just chilling on a park bench, and that's truly what you do in a park. One of my favorite things about Berlin is going to a Späti, which is sort of like a bodega or a deli in New York. It's just a place that's open pretty much 24 hours. You can just buy some beers and just sit next to the Spree River in Berlin with all the hipsters, and you just chill in there watching the sunset. It's one of the most beautiful things. And interestingly enough, I mean, I have to look up the stats, but I'm pretty sure there's more alcoholics in America than in Germany. And it's so funny because repression creates extremism, right? In Germany, we're not repressed when it comes to alcohol consumption. I drank alcohol when I was 16 years old after soccer practice. I probably started when I was 14, and we just didn't overdo it. And now I pretty much don't drink. I just, you know, it's very chill. And in America, once you're 21, you go so hard in college and you throw up, and that's all college is about. And in Germany, college is a lot more tame because we got it out of our system since we're 16 years old. Germany, USA. Yeah, that is the most beautiful thing I miss. Dude, everything is in order. Even in LA, in like one of the biggest cities, and you have Hollywood and so much money allegedly, it is fucked up, dude. There's no order. Like, the supermarkets are crazy, crime is up, there's homeless people sleeping everywhere. That is order. Germany, we don't leave our cart. When you shop and you leave your cart, they put you into a constant, no, they put you in jail. No, they probably don't do that, but you definitely, there's collectively a lot of scrutiny you're gonna face from Germans. They give you the German stinky eye, and the German stinky eye really hurts. Ouchie. I miss that about Germany. Some order. Okay, so Germany. Diese verdammten Neonazis are getting out of hand. I must do everything to Nazi regime demystify and show the people that they were just a bunch of big holes of ass with too much power. Yeah, demystifying is a good word. We're trying to show people that, hey, the Nazis are not these cool guys wearing Hugo Boss. And then America goes, yo crowd, check out this new game about shooting robot Nazi zombies in space I made. Man, you Nazis had a hell of a badass fashion sense. And that is truly what is happening right now. Riley sent me a photo of a new Pokemon collection where the Pokemon are just black and they have an SS symbol. It's so funny how in Germany we're truly trying to make sure that Germans never think that Nazis are cool, and in America, every movie, Nazis are like the fucking sleek soldiers. Andrew Schulz, great comedian. This haircut would never fly in Germany. Once he starts touring and does shows at the Berliner Sportpalast or the Nürnberger Olympiahalle, then we should really be concerned about that. Imagine me as a German comedian pulling off that look. Would never go down, man. I even saw a dude in Texas, he was wearing a shirt with a swastika on it, but he's Asian, so he told me, oh, it's a symbol in my culture in Buddhism. I'm like, bro, this symbol belongs to the Germans now. Like, you can't wear that. Our branding was superior. Yeah, it was, dude, it was. You can't wear that shit. Man, I see it all the time, but it makes sense. I saw Nazi memorabilia at a flea market in Los Angeles. Crazy, dude. In Germany, that's truly illegal. I'm pretty sure you go to jail for selling Nazi memorabilia. Sure, you can go to a museum and see it, but you can't just sell a fucking teacup that has the SS symbol and allegedly belonged to Goebbels at one point. That's crazy. That is insane, dude. Look at the Germans. Then clubbing. It's hilarious. When you're over 21 at 2 a.m., clubs close. And in Germany, when you're 16, you can go clubbing. And that's one of the crazy things that I realized, because there's songs about like, it's a party in the USA, hey, you know, the Taylor Swift song or whoever it was. Fuck, it probably was Katy Perry or something. I don't know. Whoever sang that song, it's a famous song. To me, that's just insane, because I came to America when I was 18 years old and I thought America was gonna be the craziest party, but I was like, compared to Berlin, this is so lame. It's so lame. Like, I couldn't believe clubs close at 2 a.m. Bars close, they check your IDs too. Legitimately in Berlin, if you go at 2 a.m., you're the first one there. Most clubs in Berlin, the techno clubs, they open at midnight maybe, but the people actually start showing up at like 3, 4 a.m. Berghain in Berlin famously opens on midnight on Friday and stays open until noon on Monday. Do you understand what I'm saying? Monday, so it stays open like 48 hours. You can be in there just 48 hours, just dancing your ass off. But Americans party so hard, yeah? It's clickbait, it's false information. In general, the mainstream clubs in the US are just so boring. Also, I don't think they're very interesting. I don't know, the vibe is just very superficial. It's about like showing off, it's very flashy. In Berlin, it's just dark. You know, it's dark techno and I love it. Music is not supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be dark and hard. Wie Kruppstahl. I'm getting a little too German now. All right, next one here. We have, this puzzles, confuses and enrages the Americans. Yeah, that's something I didn't realize. Here's the thing in Germany. You open the window, when you put it on up, then you can tilt it, because in Germany, we don't have AC. And that's something that blows my mind. When I came in here, the AC was blasting at 64 degrees. I was ice cold. I was shriveling. My penis was non-existent. Just being here in the hotel room, because everything, the AC is so extreme. In Germany, we don't use AC so much. We use natural Lüften, we call it, also in the winter time. We do Stoßlüften, yeah, which means you open the window and you open all the doors and there's just like a fucking breeze of cold air invading your home, yeah? And it gets all the bad air out, yeah? It eradicates the bad air, yeah? And then you go out on the other side and then you have a pure room again. I think German windows are somewhat superior. All right, next meme. 9/11 in the USA, 9/11 in Germany. I'll be fully honest, I don't fully understand this one. Like 9/11 in the USA, of course, it was rough, but in Germany, we're not happy about it. Actually, I was pissed during 9/11 because I was watching SpongeBob Schwammkopf, which is SpongeBob SquarePants. I was watching the German version, and then my grandpa came in and he had to watch TV because 9/11 just happened. All right, next meme. If you don't study, you'll end up like him. And then the Germans, if you study well, you'll be able to build a better world for him. I think that's how we look at immigration. But also, to be fair, I think the sentiment has shifted a lot because we have a refugee crisis in Germany right now. We had like 1 million people come in from Syria, specifically refugees, during the refugee crisis in like 2014, 2015. It definitely changed the sentiment a little bit, but overall, I think America is built on immigration. Germany is not. Germany has been much more, I hate to say the word pure, but I mean in a way more homogenous in terms of, there's just Germans there. We don't have mass immigration. America is a country built by immigrants. Everybody wants to come to America. Not so much the case about Germany. You know, of course we have a lot of immigrants from Russia and Italy and Turkey. But when I grew up and I first was in contact with refugees, we didn't look at them in this way. We looked at them as like, fuck, they're having a civil war happening right now. It was not like, oh, they're taking our jobs. Some people did, of course some people did, but specifically my family, I can only speak for myself. I'm from a small town called Alpispach im Hochschwarzwald, yeah? And we had a hotel and they put like 80 refugees in there. But they all played in the local soccer team. One of the guys helped my mom renovate her house. She had to like paint the walls or something. So we helped them because it's so sad to see that some people will hate refugees thinking, oh, they came here to take our jobs. But yo, some of them come here because they are being persecuted in their countries. And they don't want to come to fucking Germany or America. They just have to. So that's a little bit of a tricky one. But I definitely would say that this meme is probably a little old because right now, a lot of Germans look more like the Americans. I think Germany's becoming more American. America did it. Yeah. All right, next one here. Oh my God, this is a complicated meme. Okay, Japan back then, they were like samurai. They were pretty evil. And then Japan now, they look like, Japanese people were so evil. I talk about this all the time. Japanese people were so fucking evil, but we just forgave them more easily because they have Pokemon. You know, Japan was fucking part of the Axis powers. Nobody thinks of them as the villains. Same with Italian people. Nobody goes like, Italian, you guys are so bad. No, they have pasta. We think Italians, oh, so nice, a pasta, you know? A little sexist, but overall good, you know? In Japan, yeah, I think they had to fam it up a little bit because, you know, they were pretty evil. USA then, Rambo. By the way, Rambo was my favorite movie as a kid. I had 3 VHS cassettes. One of them was Rambo 1, one of them was The Matrix, and one of them was Rambo 3. I don't know. So like I watched watch those movies over and over again. Then USA Now, I mean, also a little bit more nerdy. It's just like, you know, they're basically saying that masculinity has gone down. And then let's see here. Germany then, oh my God, no, these look like, the uniforms though, fucking A, the Hugo Boss was sharp. And then Germany Now look like Japanese people as well. I mean, they're just basically saying that the whole world is going more feminine. I think after you go so hardcore on the masculine shit, then you gotta go feminine again. But also, I think now it's kind of coming back a little bit. I think the alpha males are coming back. All right, next meme. In 2012, the entire German police force only fired 36 shots total in the whole year. 36 shots. And I was like, pew, 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 pew. America. That is crazy. By the way, I've never seen a gunshot. I've never heard a gunshot. I've never fired a gun in Germany. I fired my first gun in America. God damn it. I was in Alabama with my friend and we're celebrating Thanksgiving. And I told the family right before Thanksgiving dinner that I've never fired a gun. So 35 minutes later, I was in the backyard shooting a rifle. I was shooting Mountain Dew cans with a rifle. And it was so American. I couldn't believe it. Like, this is so weird for me also having this gun because I was like, fuck man, there's so much guilt attached to this because, you know, we don't have guns in Germany. Again, the last time we did, it didn't go so well. Yeah, people didn't like us as much with guns. So, different countries versus coronavirus. Okay, Spain, half of my respiratory organs were destroyed. Yeah, Spain has some crazy lockdowns. Germany, I mean, we had a lockdown and people were quite obedient, but also, I don't think we had as many cases. Don't quote me on this shit, but like, more people died the year before than the year of actual COVID. I mean, there's also probably a statement to the superior German genes. No, I'm kidding, to the to the hospital system. It's probably pretty good in Germany. Not superior, not the greatest of all time. Some, it's debatable, but pretty good. You know, pretty good. Let's see. China, it just slaps their people. I don't know what that means. I think China just, they said they had no numbers. I mean, they allegedly caused the whole thing. I'm assuming China very strict because, you know, everything very strict China. Sweden, yeah, Swedish people didn't give a fuck. Everybody's stupid except me. Dude, Sweden was like, we don't give a fuck. We're just gonna ride this out. And I think at the end of the day, they had deaths. This is a touchy subject. I think this whole video is demonetized because there's one meme about coronavirus. Thanks, Riley. Appreciate sending this to me. And then USA, what the fuck? It's just, yeah. It's probably the division. It just tore itself in half. Or it is because, are they now gay because of the vaccine? I don't know what this one means. I think America is so divided. North Korea, they just had no cases. Brazil, I don't know what that is. They just didn't give a fuck, I'm assuming. They just had samba, ole ole. Yeah, but I said this in the last video, like in Germany, the vaccine was not as politicized. It's just like, if you didn't get the vaccine, you don't like the vaccine. In America, it's like, if you don't get the vaccine, people are like, he hates trans people. It's the joke I have in my stand-up, but it's so true. Like, it was not as politicized in Germany. That's why look at the Mickey in Germany and look at the one in the US. Hart wie Kruppstahl. Alright, this one's funny. Vive la France! Yeah, French people, when they won the World Cup, they were fucking everywhere celebrating so much. I was like, God damn, dude, you surrendered so hard last time. Spain, same thing. Por los ingleses, viva España! I don't know who rejected this guy from Barcelona Art School, but we're gonna look out for this guy. Problematic. Imagine a German did that. It would be over, dude. The video would be taken down, that guy would be arrested. Spanish people can do it. He gives major Führer vibes. Yeah, he's like the leader. Alright, then USA, of course, man. American pride is insane. And Germany, after hearing that, goes, yay, Deutschland. And then the news, German nationalism on the rise. Experts worried might still be Nazi. I always knew he was still a Nazi, an expert. The Nazi stuff will never stop in Germany, and I think, I mean, rightfully so, I don't want to downplay things, but I think, you know what? Germany has done some bad things in the world historically, but I think, you know, after everything, like if you take away the isolated incident of the Holocaust, like take that away, and the war, and then other war too, probably. If you take all these things away, Germany's been doing pretty good, you know? Like, we have not done as much slavery in Germany, you know, not as big. I said this last time, in America, you guys have Pride Month. In Germany, we have Guilt Year, okay? I even saw articles when Germany was saying, I think Angela Merkel said something criticizing the state of Israel for something Netanyahu did, and then immediately was like, the German chancellor comes in like a tank again. I was like, what the fuck? This is an opinion. Like, we always get boxed in with this shit. It's now we Germans are good people. Yeah? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Alright. Ein Republikaner verliert eine Wahl in den USA. Er wird nicht gewählt, weil er als zu gemäßigt gilt. This means a Republican is losing an election in the US. He is not being elected because he is too moderate, which is hilarious, dude. Because Germany actually voted saying that Israel's attacks should not be considered genocide, right? They said that in the UN. And I was like, how the fuck are we Germans allowed to vote in this, you know? But I guess we are genocide experts now, yeah? Yeah, nobody did it better than us, yeah? Whoopsie whoopsie. It's weird, man. We Germans are always walking on eggshells with all this shit. It's so funny, dude. Too much.